Here is go back.
Today's video is sponsored by W Jitterless Energy Blend, formulated to give you the focus and energy with no jitters or crash. Their formula contains vitamins, amino acids, and nootropics, including the patented Neurofactor, with more than 10 different flavors to enjoy and start your day strong. Are you ready to try W? Visit W.GG today and use promo code ARROWWAN to save 10% on your purchase today. Hey, welcome everybody to today's episode of Tuned In Live. This is the last Monday of March. My God, where is this year going by? You know, usually every year, you know, the years go by real slow. You know, it's 12 months, 365 days a year, you know? And you would think being a leap year with that extra fucking day, everything would be slow. No. Usually, like, the years would start off real slow. You know, January, February, March, April. The first 4 months are always dragging on by. Not in this case, apparently. These first 3 months flew the fuck on by. I don't know what the hell is going on, you know? It amazes me. Anyway, guys, welcome to Tune In Live. Welcome to the podcast today. Depending on what platform you guys are watching us on, our YouTube channel, Kick, or Twitch, hit that like, subscribe button down below. Hit the follow button down below if you guys are watching us on others. If you guys want to check out our merch store, we got shirts, hoodies, cups, and more. Soon to come more items. Click the link down below for our merch store. Come on over. If you guys like to make a purchase, feel free to do so. Use the promo code ARROWENT to save 15% on your purchase. Also, this stream is brought to you by our sponsor, W Energy Blend. As you guys heard the sponsor before you heard my voice. Well, you technically heard my voice doing it. So if you guys want, going over to W.GG. If you guys want to make any purchases over there on any other energy drink flavors or products, be sure to use promo code ARROWWAN, and you will save 10% on that, guys. So, that being said, welcome to the show today. Got quite a bit to talk about today. Talk about scandals, controversies, updates, all that good shit, you know? First one, I want to give you guys an update on what's going on with our channel here, Arrow Entertainment, along with our partners and dear friends, CYPHER, who, well, that's his nickname, his channel name on YouTube and Twitch. Tom and his wife Dana, who everybody knows as Star Tenchi, if you've watched this long enough. We've had a couple meetings within the last 3-4 days. So there's quite a bit that we're planning on doing for the channel to blow it open wide for a vast majority of people who want different content or would love to see different content other than just podcasts and game streams. You know, I've also been doing a lot of videos, putting videos together. I hope you guys have been enjoying those. I got a couple I just put together, and I'm going to start releasing them here on a schedule, actually. Yeah. I am now going to have a video schedule for release. And I'm going to have one put together today. I'm going to put it out Wednesday, you guys. Now, being like, the reason I'm on a strict schedule myself is because I don't really have too much privacy where I'm at. You know, I got a nice little setup for my computer and everything and gaming and stuff, but I feel like sometimes I don't have much privacy to where I can actually bring you guys this content and such. But, you know, when I do, like right now, it's quiet, it's peaceful, you know, there's nothing really distracting me or disturbing me at all. Like, no offense about it. But I feel like, you know, not just that, but other things go on in my life. You know, there's things that happen with kids, there's things that happen with my spouse, and there's times where I'm not able to stream. So I couldn't think of a way to set up a schedule for what I want to stream and what I want to stream, you know? And I sat down with my fiance and I told her, I said, you know, I just don't know. You know, everything going on, and I don't know how to set things up. I do not know. And she was the one who told me, set up a schedule. Get a schedule set up for where you want to do it. And even if it's like game streaming or whatever, you know, even if she's going to be in the background and all, she understands, but she wants me to stream. She wants me to do that. She enjoys listening to me. She also enjoys being a part of it sometimes too. So I'm gonna try my best, you know, like the schedule needs a little bit of tweaking again. I'm guessing, you know, down below, I'll put a new schedule up. So now, like I've said before, you know, tune in live Mondays. That's going to be a thing. I haven't done it for the past week or two because I've been busy. It's been hectic around here with stuff. So, but yeah, Mondays will still be tune in live Mondays for you guys. Fridays, always Friday mornings, 10 a.m. Tom and I will be giving you URC podcast. This past Friday, Tom was away doing something, so his wife Dana covered, and we had a really good topic for you guys if you want to check that out. We were talking about movies, you know, like B movies that people find to be not grotesque, but hideous in a sense, you know, hideous. Like, oh, these are bad movies. These are bad movies, but not as bad as they are. So if you guys want to check that out, you can. So, and gameplay streams, I'm afraid those will just be random. So if you guys follow us on Twitter or if you follow us on Discord, you guys will get an update on when those game streams will happen. Sometimes it'll happen on a weekend. Sometimes it will happen maybe on a Wednesday if I got time, you know? Friday nights, even though Fridays we have URC, Friday nights, I still plan on doing my Friday night MLG, which I'm hoping to start this Friday night. Around maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock, depending. I'm going to play some classic Halo. If you guys are into Halo, you want to watch me suck at Halo, of course. So that's pretty much what started me on the trend of wanting to do an MLG kind of thing, is playing Halo. So I'm going to be doing that Friday night. You know, it's MLG night. I'll let you guys know when. Saturdays, Saturdays are usually up in the air. You know, sometimes I'll hold a game stream if I'm not tired enough at night. But starting this Saturday, and it was supposed to be, well, a couple Saturdays ago, we had started URC After Dark, which is another project spun off from Tom's original URC idea. And this was an idea that Tom had come out with, you know. He was like, okay, why don't we just come out with an After Dark series, you know, in the evening times? Because, you know, there's some people who catch the episode or catch the show, the regular show, during the morning hours that are here. And then there's people that aren't able to, you know, they're home in the evening. You know, they can catch it in the evening. So Saturday nights is supposed to be our URC After Dark podcast. And it was supposed to be hosted by newly teammate who we've known for a good while, Loki. He wanted to take over the idea of being a host, but the idea behind After Dark was supposed to have different hosts each time. You know, Tom wasn't always going to be there. Dana wasn't always going to be there. I wasn't always going to be there. And Loki decided to take on the project himself, and he was like, let's do it Saturday nights. I said, okay. Saturday nights be sufficient around 9, maybe 10 o'clock, do a 2-hour show. And then, you know, because Loki, he gets up in the, you know, in the late evening and he'll stream all night for like 6 or 7 hours, you know? So it'd be sufficient. But there wasn't a episode this past Saturday. They were supposed to, but I don't know if Loki didn't have a topic for it, or, well, he's supposed to be getting like the layouts for the stream and all, so we will see. If not, then I will probably host an episode of Utter Random Crap After Dark this Saturday night. I don't know how long it'll be, maybe about an hour or so, depending, but yeah. So you guys will definitely get that. But other than that, you know, for the schedule-wise, and I'm trying to get back more and more into video content creating. You know, I used to create videos back in 2015, 2016, and as much as I love doing it, sometimes it would be a pain. The most of what it would be the editing part, because I would film certain sections and then I would put it on a video editing software and piece everything together the way I feel suits that, you know, the video. And sometimes the editing process can be it can be tedious. It really can be if anybody's ever put videos together at all. And there's even times where software could crash, so software could freeze. So there's all kind of issues. Yeah, even though my PC is up to par, you know, I got a good processor in it. I got a you know, a fairly new GPU in it that's up to standards. It's up to 32 gigs of RAM. So I'm like, what more can I want? You know, I multitask, and this is what I do. I either game or I stream or I edit content. So I'm a, you know, I'll do a pretty much a lot with this PC. I had this computer for, God, I want to say about 7 years. I had this PC, and it's still going on pretty strong. Usually people say, you know, PCs they've had for more than 5 years start to crash on them or shit on them or whatever. And I'm like, well, I usually take good care of mine. I usually clear out all the bad and make the good, you know, just like make sure it has plenty of room on the hard drives and stuff. Make sure I blow it out, because sometimes, you know, you got to clean out your PC. If not, you'll have all that clutter of dust and dirt bunnies and all that shit cluttering up the fans and slowing it down and overheating it, and then you'll have some serious issues with your PC. But other than that, yeah, that's the schedule. So video uploads, I'm definitely gonna make a deadline for that, you know, for the uploads to be Wednesdays. Now the short videos that I've been doing, the food reviews, I'm still gonna be doing those. Just trying to find some items to eat, you know, some food to eat and shit to try out for them. I already got 2 that I filmed yesterday. I just got to put them together. But yeah, they will be released on Wednesdays as well. And it's not going to be like a Tuesday release or Thursday release, you know, something like that. Also, Tuesday and Thursdays, if you guys are wondering, they are off limits for me. You know, that's my off days, because my stepdaughter one day has therapy, and then both those days simultaneously, you know, Tuesday and Thursday, she has karate in the evening. So it's like there's no real time or anything for me to have a stream or do anything. You know, I just like, I'm getting up in the afternoon after working overnight and then getting the kids from school, getting everything situated and stuff, you know, so that's why I set the schedule the way I did. So if you guys want to see an update more on that schedule, come join our Discord. Link for our Discord is right down below, guys. Join it, and you can find it in our message board section. And that's pretty much all. So let's get into today's topic. So before we talk about the scandal behind Nickelodeon, okay, so this is going to be a real beefy topic. Okay, this is the mother lode topic right here. But let's go into something else that I just recently read up on. Anybody in here live in Florida? Y'all live in Florida, What do you think about DeSantis? Oh, we have some breaking news. What's this? Okay, so the 8th Amendment is trending on Twitter. If anybody follow, if anybody is on Twitter, just announced, President Trump said this is all about election interference. They are doing things that have never been done in this country before. $175 million is still high. 8th Amendment. So what is the 8th Amendment? The 8th Amendment was designed to protect against excessive fines and bail imposed to achieve unjust ends. So this is going on with the whole thing with Trump. Still, they're all trying to pin shit on Trump. You know, they're trying to get him to pay this big fine for this whatever it is. I guess they must have lowered it or they upped it or whatever. So let's hear it from the president himself. Trump is still my president. I don't care what anybody says about Biden. Biden's a piece of dog shit. Biden can fucking die and go to hell and rot there for all I care. This is my true president right here. Let's hear what he have to say.
Okay, thank you very much. It's a great honor to be with you at 40 Wall Street. And we appreciate you have a lot of press outside, and I think we're going to start before a lot of them come in, which frankly always makes me happy. So, a lot of things happened today. This is all about election interference. This is all Biden-run things, meaning Biden and his thugs, because I don't know if he knows he's alive. And it's a shame. It's a shame what's happening to our country. This is election interference. They are doing things that have never been done in this country before. We've never had anything like it, certainly not at this level, but we've really had nothing like it that I've been able to find. It does happen a lot in third world countries, banana republics. If you look at what we just left, you have a case which they're dying to get this thing started. The judge cannot go faster. He wants to get it started so badly. And there's tremendous corruption. You have Pomerantz, Mark Pomerantz. He was Hillary Clinton's lawyer, or Democrat National Committee's lawyer. He worked in Paul Weiss. He walked in and he took over the district attorney's office. Nobody's ever seen anything like that, to prosecute Trump.
You know what? He is right. This is election interference. Everything that these pieces of shit are doing, it's interfering with the election. You know, they all know that Trump is running for president again. People are going to vote for Trump. They all know this. Even though a lot of them think, a lot of the left, a lot of these liberal idiots, they all think that people are going to vote for Biden again. Why? What the fuck has Biden done for this goddamn country that's so fucking good, man? I have one retard on Facebook tell me, oh, the economy's banging, the economy's doing much better, unemployment is up, or unemployment is down, people are working again. Yeah. People have found jobs working at Walmarts, Targets, Rite Aids, Walgreens, Kmart's, Ames, whatever the fuck else is out there. You know why? Because during the pandemic, the scandemic, even though everything started under Trump, Trump was trying to keep the economy flowing during the pandemic when it first started. He was trying to keep everything flowing. And yes, everybody brought to the table, everybody's got to get these shots. You know, yeah, even though Trump was trying to get people or encourage people to get the vaccine just in case, Trump wasn't forcing it on anybody. He was encouraging it. He was kind of recommending it, but he wasn't forcing it the way the fucking Biden demtards were doing it. Y'all remember back in 2020, 2021, where Biden was like, oh, you better get the vaccine or you can't do this. You can't do that. You can't work. You can't do this again. And there's so many people out there telling people that they deserve to die, that they need to be in jail. So you got Biden and his idiot cronies dividing the country over a fucking vaccine. People who didn't want to take the vaccine, people who still didn't take the vaccine, and good for them. Nobody knows what's in this fucking vaccine. There's been no full research behind it. It's just something that has come out, and they'd be like, oh, y'all need to take it. Y'all need to fucking take it. Even though Trump was suggesting it, he wasn't forcing it like these retards were. You had Biden sitting there saying, you can't go to work, you can't go to school, you can't go to your local store, you can't do this and take care of that until you get that vaccine. Y'all need to get that vaccine. Biden was all for you all taking an experimental drug and hoping that you all would die within the next 2-3 years. Well, that rumor was laid to rest, though, because especially since, sadly, I was one of the ones that ended up getting the Johnson & Johnson shot back in 2021, I think it was. No, it was around then, 2020, 2021, because I was convinced to, like, if I got sick and I came home, I didn't want to end up spreading it to the family and the kids and all that. Well, not only that, but eventually the job I had at the time, they were sending out emails saying, oh, yeah, you got to get the vaccine and get it on file with us and this and that. I'm like, fuck. And I can't afford not to work. So I was kind of forced into getting the vaccine. I was forced into it, either way. So I got the Johnson & Johnson. I wasn't going to go with the CYPHER or the Pfizer or the Moderna. And here's why. Those vaccines, they were heavily emphasized on how good they would be. They were, prevent any and all infections or diseases or whatever, relating to COVID, right? You were protected. Well, they lied to people. They tried, Biden and them tried to tell them you have a very, very, very less chance of contracting COVID with this vaccine. Yeah, how many people who took the vaccine actually contracted COVID? Yeah. Poor Jamie Foxx. Now, I'm not a fan of Jamie Foxx. I'm not a fan of him. But that poor guy, he was almost paralyzed because of it. The fucking shot he took, or whatever, it almost paralyzed his ass. Several other people have had negative effects with it, too. And you're going to push people to get that shit? But remember, when they all came out back in 2020, when they all said, okay, there's 3 different vaccines, okay? There's the Pfizer, the Moderna, and then there's the Johnson & Johnson. Now, they tried saying that the Johnson & Johnson had the most negative effects on it. It was actually putting people in the hospital or damn near toward death or whatever, Don't get the Johnson & Johnson. You know what? I'm not going to come back 2 or 3 times to get another shot, another injection in my body. The Johnson & Johnson, what made it pretty nice was it was a one-time thing. Both boosters. That's all it was. It was 2 shots in one. I got that shot. I wasn't going to go back a second or third time for that shit. Once was enough for me. The only side effect that I had from it, I can say, is I had a slight fever that night. That was it. I had a slight fever. I took some ibuprofen and something else. Lay down. Took a little nap. After that, I was fine. I was like fucking healthy as could be, I was like, holy shit, I'm good to go. Haven't really experienced anything other since then. Well, maybe I can't think as much or remember as much as anymore, but I do blame the vaccine for that because I never contracted COVID. Maybe my bloodstream isn't good enough for the fucking virus. I don't know, but I never contracted COVID or anything. But yet, you got these motherfuckers, who were, panning all this shit in the last 4 years. And, Biden with his inflation. And there's a lot of people that are like, inflation's good for the economy. Inflation's good for the economy. Yeah, well, it's not good for the little man who's trying to make it with their family. The little man, the poor, and the middle classes that are out there working 1, 2, maybe 3 jobs to keep a roof over their families' heads, to keep foods in their fucking stomachs, clothes on their fucking backs. Yeah, you want to sit there and talk about, inflation's good. Yeah, well, that's when they should have fucking taxed the hell out of the rich people. That's who should be affected, the fucking rich. But then they take offense to that. They're like, oh no, don't, we got money, don't do that, don't do that. Go for them. Yeah, well, guess what? The little man. We are the ones responsible for keeping this country afloat. While you rich fuckers are out there flaunting your fucking money. The smug fucking looks on your goddamn faces as you look down upon us. And you treat us like we're fucking rats, And you're going to sit there and say, inflation's good for the economy. Yeah, well, guess what? How many businesses went under within the last 3 years under Biden? How many stores have filed for bankruptcy across the country and has shut down? Hell, there's even some Walmarts that are prepared to shut down because of all this shit, A lot of these places, they cannot afford the life of luxury, in this time of crisis with the inflation. Yeah, you got to raise prices, to keep things afloat, but when you're not able to, places like these go bankrupt. You got places like Joann Fabrics, Rite Aid, Dollar Trees and dollar stores, all these little places, even some Walmart, some Targets, some other places that I don't even know of. They're all going under, shutting some of these stores down. I wonder why. Because we're in a period of inflation. Biden has created such a negative impact on the economy right now. And there's so many idiots out there providing false proof of, the economy's doing good. Look at the stock market. Who gives a fuck about the stock market? The only ones that give a fuck about the stock market are you rich fuckers out there. Those are the only ones that give a fuck about it. I don't give a fuck about it. I could fucking care less. How about the fucking economy? Pumping money into the economy. How about our states, our counties and all that still haven't repaired fucking roads and shit? Or done anything for our schools? No, because all that money goes into their goddamn pockets, right? But all this shit happening under Biden. And everybody still looks at Trump as he's the fucking devil, So they're trying everything in their power right now to keep Trump from winning the election this year. If Trump wasn't running, he wouldn't be having all these random cases come up against him. If Trump told his people, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it, I have my run, let somebody else have it, there wouldn't be so much controversy right now behind Trump. But Trump said, no, fuck these people. They did me wrong. They did the American people wrong. They're shitting on the American flag, and I'm not going to stand for it. So everything that they are throwing at Trump, what was it, 97 supposed charges or something? And he's beating them. He's beating them left and right, and they are fucking livid. They hate the fact that Trump is going to beat them in the elections. So now they're going for his wallet. Oh, well, you're going to owe $175 million in fines and shit. Yeah, well, guess what? You have the 8th Amendment. Oh, let me pull. Yeah. You got the 8th Amendment, which was designed to protect people against excessive fines or bail imposed to achieve unjust ends. So I guess they're in violation of that. So here's what Donald Trump had to say on Twitter. No, this is not true. This is Retruth or whatever his social media platform is. The only fraud in the Peekaboo James case failed and disgusting New York State Attorney General was her convincing Judge Arthur, whatever the fuck his name is, to put a value on Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, or just $18 million, when it was worth 50 to 100 times that amount. This was fraudulently and illegally done, working closely together in a corrupt communist system to set the narrative after learning that the values and facts were completely wrong. Businesses will flee the state as the migrant crimes and violence continues to flourish. I paid $300 million in taxes, and this is what I get. A witch hunt. And he's right! New York State is one of the first ones to do some stupid shit like this. And this idiot right here, what's his name, Luigi? Who gives a fuck? Post a asshole. There was no excessive fine. Eighth Amendment was not violated. The fraud committed gained him more than the fine. If you had 100% restitution, Oh, I can't reply to him. Let's see. Got it. Oh, can I reply to him? Nope, can't. Oh, because I am not a blue member or whatever. Yeah, whatever. Fuck him. He's a piece of shit. Luigi B. O'Malley. Yeah, no MAGA. FK, NRA. Yeah, fuck NRA, LGBT, welcome. Yeah, fuck you, asshole. Yeah, fuck you. I'm gonna put Trump 2024. Fuck you, tard. There we go. I'm open to say whatever fuck I want on Twitter. Fuck you, asshole. I hate people like that. They're fucking retarded, you know? People will sit there and be like, oh, well, Trump did this, Trump did that. Yeah, okay. What about the fucking shit that Trump did? Or what about the shit that Biden did, you know? What about the shit that Biden did? Everybody overlooks that, you know? All the scandals behind him and shit. Nobody wants to see that. Let me see if I can find an article here. There's got to be an article somewhere that I can click on for the Ron DeSantis thing. Okay. Florida bans social media. Now, there's something I got to say. Okay. So, almost about a month ago, Texas put something in the law, or put something into play. And I think I've commented on it somewhere in here, even though I'm always sharing shit and commenting shit. I want to show you this shit here. Okay, this was definitely a good while ago. I got a lot of tweets behind it, man. Holy fuck. Let's see. Where the hell is it at? It was something about Texas. Well, anyway, Texas introduced a law, or a bill in law, that basically... Oh, here we go. So, it's in plain text, and this is on the website Pornhub. Now, I didn't visit Pornhub for this message. This is something I found on Twitter. And people think, oh my God, this is a way to silence people. They're banning pornography from Texas. Let's read this, because I don't think I ever got a chance to read something like this on the podcast, okay? So this is a statement from Pornhub. It says, "Dear user, as you may know, your elected officials in Texas are requiring us to verify your age before allowing you to access our websites." Now, over the last 25 years of the internet, okay? Internet's been around for a long, long time. There has always been websites that have put age verification windows before entering the site. You gotta verify your age. But kids have always gotten past that. Kids have always gotten through that shit, you know? All you gotta do is enter the wrong age or an invalid age, and it lets you in, right? So, teenagers back then were able to view titties and pussies and assholes and all kind of shit back in the day. Then they were able to get away with it. So now, state of Texas is requiring people to verify their age before accessing the website. Not only does this impinge on the rights of adults to access protected speech, it fails strict scrutiny by employing the least effective and yet also most restrictive means of accomplishing Texas's stated purpose of allegedly protecting minors. While safety and compliance are at the forefront of our mission, providing identification each time you want to visit an adult platform is not an effective solution for protecting users online. In fact, will put minors and your privacy at risk, which of course means, you would need your ID in order to access websites like Pornhub or whatever. Now, I know kids will have access to pornography no matter what. Every kid growing up has had some kind of access to pornography. My dad had Playboy magazines in a fucking dresser drawer when I was like 5, 6, 7 years old. Did I go snooping through my parents' dresser drawers and closet and shit when I was young without them knowing? Yeah, everybody has, I'm sure everybody out there at one point wasn't a goody two-shoes and just wanted to go explore. It's like, okay, I want to see the other side of the house. I want to see what mom and dad has, that kind of thing. And then you accidentally come across dad's porn stash, I saw my first pair of titties when I was like, 5, 6 years old and shit. Like, goddamn, like, they didn't scar me for life. I just knew that, adult women, adult girls, as I call them or whatever. I knew that women had fucking tits and shit, Big whoop-de-fucking-do. Was I going up to my teacher and asking her if I could fuck her at the age of 8? No. Porn doesn't do that kind of shit for us. Porn is a very interesting type of entertainment for adults. It's a pleasurable it's pleasurable entertainment for adults. Just as nudie magazines were, just as pornography, porno videos were, back in, as early as maybe the 60s or the 70s, porn videos were out and being sold and, in certain places, that kind of thing. Porn has been around since the 60s or so, even before that, I think, porn's been around for a long, long fucking time. Kids today know what fucking titties look like. Are you going to ban them from a website? No. The best you could do is have some kind of restriction at when you enter a website like this. If you got to provide some kind of proof, even if you got to provide an email or you got to provide an address or something, who the fuck knows, just to keep kids out, because kids are not going to have an ID unless they're going to sneak mom and dad's ID and be like, mom, I found your wallet laying in the backyard. No, but nobody's gonna fucking risk that shit, But this was back, this was actually early March. Yeah, this is about March 14th when I shared this. And people are sitting there be like, well, Texas just banned porn. You can't watch porn in Texas. No, that's not what this says. People do not read the fine print. They get an idea of what's put out there, but they don't read the fine print. So I posted, I said, people are fucking idiots. It's in plain text. Does it say anything about banning the site? No. It states the site's requiring age verification. You got people like Drama Alert, Keemstar, Killer Keemstar on fucking Twitter. Yeah, Mr. Drama Alert himself, the idiot that doesn't know anything. He don't know how to get fucking facts. All he does is state opinions and false truths. That's all he knows how to fucking do. Fuck that piece of shit. He's gonna sit there and be like, they're banning porn from Texas? No, you fucking idiot! They are sitting there saying, we are limiting and restricting certain things. You can still watch your Pam and Tommy video on Pornhub in Texas as long as you verify that you're an adult, you have an ID, you have no kids that are watching this shit, etc., etc. That's all that pretty much states. But you got people that are completely fucking stupid. And they'll believe any fucking thing. Just like anybody who sits there and talks half-truths or false truths about Trump. Oh, well, Trump was racist. Trump was racist. How the fuck was Trump racist? We're talking about a guy who walked and marched and hung out and hung around Al Sharpton and Reverend Jesse Jackson and Martin Luther King. This motherfucker never said a racist thing in his goddamn life. Biden has, however. Biden's always opposed the black community in some way. Do you not all remember back before he got elected in 2020, where he told the black community, if you don't vote for me, if you vote for Trump, then you're not as black as you are, or you say you are, or whatever? You all remember that shit? Biden has said some racist fucking shit. Some sick fucking shit. Since the 1970s, ever since he got into the fucking office, you know? But yeah, Trump is racist, right? Show me where fucking Trump is racist. Show me a little bit. No, don't do that fucking AI bullshit where you can get on a fucking AI program and pretend to fucking do his voice, you know? I want to see actual proof. I want to see a video, raw dog video of him saying it. Nobody can provide it. Nobody can provide that proof because it does not exist at all. Before we get into this, guys, I'll be right back.
USA, America's favorite cable network.
It happens while you sleep.
A kiss? Not yet, honey.
Millions of bacteria form in your mouth.
A kiss? No.
So you wake up with the worst breath of the day. Morning breath.
Oh, honey.
Fight morning breath with Scope. Antiseptic Scope has 2 powerful ingredients that kill 90% of the bacteria that cause morning breath.
How about that kiss?
Where's my kiss?
Kiss me, you big lug.
Scope, original mint or peppermint. The best thing, first thing in the morning.
Ford, profiles in quality, employee involvement.
If you're working together, you do a better job. I said that back in '82. And the quality of our cars and trucks is proof that it's working today.
Money alone won't build quality cars. You've got to have better design.
Better designs don't mean a thing unless engineering can live up to the design. Engineering works only when everyone is committed to quality.
Our goal is to build the highest quality cars and trucks in the world.
At Ford, Mercury, and Lincoln, quality is got one.
It just comes all the way across. I can feel it all the way around my head.
Today, it isn't regular aspirin or Tylenol. It's Advil for tough headache pain.
I switched to Advil and gone.
Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
She saw a murder they say never happened.
Honey, a girl was killed.
Till someone turns up her body, she's not dead.
Now she's pursued by a killer
I know who killed that girl.
they say doesn't exist.
He was in my hotel tonight.
You think you could identify this man?
You know who he is.
Faye Dunaway.
Do you know how to fire a 9mm?
I'll do what I have to.
Silhouette, a USA world premiere movie. Today at 2/1 Central. Deep in the swamp lies a forbidden world. Dare to explore. Swamp Thing on USA. Today at 5/4 Central.
Maybe you are an angel.
Dolly Parton's Come Home for the Holidays for a Smoky Mountain Christmas. A USA movie special. Tonight at 7, 6 Central.
At Vidal Sassoon London and all our salons worldwide, we've worked with enough hair to know that fine hair, like Jack.
And we're back, guys. Hey, Hoyt, you came in. I see you over there. Even though it just popped up on the Twitch side. I don't know what the hell's going on with the YouTube chat here, but I see your comment. I don't know if you commented anything else. YouTube's being a big bitch on the internet right now with comments and all. So I'm trying to refresh it to where I can actually see yours. Anyway, guys, so yeah, Joe Biden acts like he cares about so much about minorities, and he said shit ton of racist shit over the decades that the media calls Trump back. Yes, exactly. That's how it's always been. Democrats weren't always bad, though. Democrats weren't always bad. You had some good Democrats out there time to time again, you know, JFKs and all that. But it's like Tom had always said, and you notice, anytime during history that somebody tries to make a change, you know, usually it's a Democrat or whatever, but anytime somebody tries to make a change that's good for the people, good for the country, good for the American people, something bad happens. Abraham Lincoln freed slaves, ended the war, you know, the Union won and all that shit, all that good stuff has happened. What happened? Lincoln was assassinated. John Wilkes Booth. Oh, there's a cat beside me. I guess he wants to lay here beside me. Oh, you know, you're gonna get stuck. I think he's stuck. Oh, there he is. So, yeah, Abe Lincoln freed the slaves and all. Well, he got assassinated. Along that lines, JFK wanted to make a change, you know? The whole Cuban Missile Crisis or the whole Cuban crisis or whatever that they were trying to involve him in. JFK was trying to do good and keep that, you know, just keep that from going or what. I forgot what it all was. JFK did something good. He was a Democrat. What happened? He was assassinated. Martin Luther King Jr. made that speech. He marched for civil rights. What happened after JFK died? Martin Luther King was assassinated. I can't remember if Malcolm X was assassinated. I can't remember. John Lennon from the Beatles. John Lennon was all about peace. Spreading the word, you know, let's make peace, you know, make peace, not war, you know, that kind of thing, you know? John Lennon was an icon for his time in the 70s. What happened to him? Mark David Chapman assassinated him. Tom's right. Anytime in history you see that there was some kind of figure trying to make peace or make good for people, they're always assassinated. They're always silenced. Just like today. Remember the whole thing with Trump? Remember when all these celebrities were talking about wanting to kill Trump and shit? Even Johnny Depp was like, oh, it's been a long time since a president has been assassinated. Same thing with Madonna. You got all these fucking sick celebrities talking about assassinating a president. It's sick. It's fucking sick. Y'all didn't say anything like that about fucking Clinton. I'm pretty sure it was said about Bush because Bush put us into war. But then again, if Bush didn't put us into war, how many more terrorist attacks would have happened in this country? How many more terrorist attacks would have happened if we didn't go over to Afghanistan? But then again, Bush put us into war for the wrong reasons. The whole thing against Saddam Hussein had nothing to do with it. Hussein had nothing to do with that fucking war. He just wanted to go after him. What about Obama? Everything fucking Obama was fucking doing to the country, right? He was never held accountable. Obama, he never did anything good for the country. People will say, oh, the Obamacare. Yeah, till you're paying out of pocket for it. Till you're the one that gets fucked in the ass by it. Which a lot of people were. About, 80% of people were? 85% people were. But if you were a Biden an Obama supporter, oh, you spoke of good things about that. You spoke, oh yeah, they were the ones that spoke okay things about that. But, other than that, Obama, he didn't give two shits about this country. He didn't. We've had terrorist attacks. We had ISIS attacks, all kind of fucking shit. We had one Navy SEAL. We had a Navy SEAL team that went in and finally took Osama bin Laden out. Obama took credit for that. He had nothing really to do with that. They reported back to him and say, hey, we found him. We took the shot. He's dead. You know? But he took credit for that, all right. Under my leadership, Bush never did it. Bush could never do that. But we got him. Yeah, okay. Trump gets in office. Now, I will say there was a few things that there was very off and oddball about Trump when he first got in. Yeah. But after that, things started rolling the way he wanted them to. Good things. And a lot of people saw that. But then you got a lot of idiots out there that are like, Trump is bad. Trump is bad. He's doing this. He's not supposed to be doing this. Trump is racist. He wants to build a wall. He wants to build a wall. There was a reason he wanted to build a fucking wall. He wanted to build a wall to keep the fucking criminals out, the drug cartels out, the murderers out. You want to come over into America, you're going to do it legally. We have a process to do it. But not everybody fucking agree with that. Nobody understood that. But look what's happening right now under Biden. He doesn't want that wall up. He doesn't want border security up. They even transport it. It's even been on the news. The Biden administration, they've had fucking people go in there with helicopters and shit and transfer some of those illegals to New York and shit and other states. Now New York, they're overpopulated with fucking migrants. And their officials are telling people, make room in your homes for these migrants. Don't let them be on the fucking streets. Fuck you! I am not opening up my fucking home and endangering my fucking family because you all feel horrible about these migrants. Some of them that are fucking terrorists. Some of them that are into drugs. What about Lincoln Riley, who was raped and murdered? Oh, you saw how fast they forgot about that case. You saw how fucking fast they forgot about that. They don't want to hear anything about Lincoln Riley. All they fucking care about is getting these motherfuckers in here. Why? So they can up the votes for Biden in November. Do you want to know? Let me tell you all something. I don't remember if I shared it on Facebook. This will fucking rile you all the fuck up. Maybe I shared it on Discord. I think I have. Let me go back on Discord. And I want to see, because I remember where I shared it. I just don't know how long ago it was that I shared it. But guys, this is something that's going to piss you all the fuck off. Let me see. I'm scrolling through. There's been so fucking much. Here we go. The latest move, guys. An Obama-appointed federal judge has ruled illegal migrants can, not can't, can possess firearms for self-defense and defense of properties. Let me read you all that again. An Obama appointed fucking federal retarded mother bastard fucking judge ruled that illegal migrants in this country can now possess firearms for self-defense and defense of property. Get that fucking thing out of my face. I swear to God. Obama appointed judge is allowing people that are possible terrorists, criminals, to possess a fucking firearm. Congratulations. You might as well shut down every goddamn prison in the fucking country and give all these fucking murderers and rapists a fucking gun too. If these people aren't enough, you might as well just close the fucking prisons, disband every fucking police department out there across the fucking nation, and give them all guns. This is how Democrats fucking think, people. This is how they fucking are. You who follow the fucking Constitution. You who fucking live here, born here, grew up here. You're not allowed to fucking possess a firearm because all the school shootings, all the mass shootings, we gotta have limits on firearms. This policy, that policy. Fuck you! You're gonna sit there and feed me that fucking shit down my fucking throat. And yet you're gonna give guns to fucking migrants? No processing, no filing of any paperwork. Not even giving them a fucking green card to where they are a citizen in this country. No, you motherfuckers decide we're gonna give you guns. Have fun. Defend your property and your families. They're not gonna do that. There's gonna be more fucking murders that are going to take place. Just like Lincoln Riley. This is fucking disgusting. None of this shit happened under Trump. None of this shit would happen under Trump. At least under Trump, we didn't have no wars break out. No terrorist activity. Trump kept all them motherfuckers shaking in their boots. Democrats didn't like that. They want war. War brings in money. Or more frivolous spending as they want it to be. But yeah, Trump was a bad guy, right? Trump was high up there. He deserves to be in prison. He deserves to die, right? You got somebody like Biden in his administration, and these Obama-appointed motherfuckers that are giving asylum to criminals. That are allowing criminals free access to guns. You don't want to fucking ban firearms, but you're so goddamn quick to give them to a fucking criminal who came over the goddamn border. Fucking sick. Fucking disgusting. What the hell is wrong with this fucking country? The fucking Democrats. That's what's fucking wrong. What are your thoughts on this, guys? Let me know. Type in the comments. Let me know what's your thoughts about this. You know, people want to fucking shut Trump out from the election. Nobody wants Trump in that office again. They're doing every goddamn thing in their power to make sure that Trump is not in office again. To make sure he's behind bars. Let's give another vote to Biden. Well, they're going to fucking cheat their way into it. Why do you think all these migrants are here? Those are all Biden votes. Biden brings them over from the worst of them all. Hell, there's people that don't want to leave Mexico. I don't know why they want to come over here. Things are fucking worse over here. It's like leaving one shit bar for another shit bar. That's even worse. But you got this motherfucker that's bringing them all over here. There's my votes. Obama had the gays back in 2014 or whatever, or 2012. We got the migrants. Then you want to sit there and say 90% of the black community are voting for Biden because Trump is racist. No, that's wrong. A vast majority of the black community want Trump back because they know how things were going under Trump. Trump looked out for people, even in the black community. People don't want to fucking see that. People don't want to acknowledge that. They don't. That is fucking sad. But then when you read up on something like this, where they're saying, hey, Biden wants to take your guns away. Biden wants to do away with the Second Amendment. He don't want you to own a firearm. He don't want you to protect your family, your property, or whatever. But he will give your firearms to illegal immigrants some of which were terrorists, criminals, drug lords, people that will actually rape and kill your all's kids. Think about that. Lincoln Riley was only the beginning. It's going to happen again. It's going to happen again, people. And this is the fucking start. It's ridiculous. Christ. Let's move off of that. And let's go talk about something with DeSantis. Okay. So DeSantis, as everybody knows, was running for president for the last 2-3 years, right? Because they didn't think Trump was going to come out. Even DeSantis was saying some rotten shit about Trump, you know? But who's the two main primaries that are running for the election? Biden and Trump. DeSantis dropped out. He'll support him, but he ain't part of the elections anymore. Can't vote for DeSantis anymore. However, if something were to happen, and I read up on this, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I've read up on. So, if during this process, up until the election, if Trump ends up in prison or whatever and doesn't get voted in, and he's the only primary, they'll go back to other delegates that were running, and they'll bring them in, and they'll say, okay, well, let's see who gets the most votes for this next delegate, you know? Could have been DeSantis. DeSantis could be the next president. Who knows? I forgot how all that worked, but I've read up on it. But even if Trump did win the election and he ended up in prison, he could still be president. Thing is, he couldn't be president if there were certain restrictions, certain things that has happened, you know, while before up until then. They're trying to pin that so-called insurrection on him. Well, let me tell you all something. January 6th was not an insurrection. January 6th was not an insurrection. You want to know what an insurrection is? What is an insurrection? Maybe an erection, I don't fucking know. Okay, so an insurrection is a violent uprising against an authority or government. Okay. This is coming out of the Wall Street Journal. Stop calling January 6th an insurrection. That's a legal term that denotes much more than a violent riot or disturbance. Now, I'm not going to read through the whole thing. But basically, an insurrection is usually something that can be called upon by your local officials, like the president, Congress, or whatever. Let's take into example all the riots that took place during the whole George Floyd bullshit. Remember that? Remember all these idiots were telling people they're just peaceful protesting, they're just voicing out their opinions. No. Looting and rioting, burning down businesses, attacking police officers, it's not peaceful protest. It's a violent riot. And these criminals need to be in prison. But something like that gets out of hands, that's when somebody like Trump, and he almost did too, or he did, I forgot what it was, but I read up on it, he called for an insurrection on the mob. All over that did that. The insurrection would call for the National Guard or anybody in the military statute to come out and handle situations like that. You know, tear gas and all that fucking shit, clear the streets, mass arrests. That's what you can call an insurrection right there. You all look it up. But I know some of you who are Democrats and are like, you're full of shit, you're full of shit. Yeah, well, prove me wrong. Don't prove me wrong with your pulled out of your ass opinions. Look up the facts. And I guarantee you you'll read exactly, or almost exactly, what I just fucking told you, what I just educated you guys on. But yeah, I did say what an insurrection is. Let me put that up. Let's see, what is... I shouldn't have even fucking closed it out. But yeah, insurrection is a violent uprising against an authority or government. The insurrection was savagely put down. Opposition to the regime led to armed insurrection. There was no violent uprising against any authority at the Capitol January 6th. It wasn't a violent uprising. If you all would take the corn cob holders out of your ears and go back and listen to Trump's speech that day before any of that happened, and he told people to peacefully march to the Capitol and peacefully protest. Go in peace. That was to all of his followers. Anybody that supported Trump. He told them to go peacefully. He didn't tell anybody to storm the Capitol. He didn't tell anybody to use any force necessary, violent force or whatever. The entire speech is still online, people. It's just the fucking mass media like CNN and all only cut out certain segments. And they're like, he caused an insurrection. Here's this clip. Did you not watch the entire fucking thing? I don't need to watch the entire... Yes, you fucking do, you stupid motherfucker. You need to watch the entire fucking thing because you're wrong. I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. That's when I'm going to walk up to motherfuckers like that and be like, beat the fuck out of them. That's what I would like to do. Even if it was fucking Joe Biden who said that, I'd walk up to him with a fucking sledgehammer and I would do that in his face. Because people like him and anybody in his fucking cabinet deserve it. For everything that they've done, not only to Trump, but everything they've done to the American fucking people. I would beat the living fuck out of Biden myself. I don't give a shit if anybody fucking report it, you know? Motherfuckers like him, Kamala Harris, anybody under the Democratic fucking Party, they deserve it. Not just for what they're doing to Trump, which is unconstitutional, but everything that they've done to us, the American fucking people. They put this country in danger. I wouldn't be surprised if Russia or China fired a fucking nuke over here within the next year or so because of them. But people are too blind and stupid to even understand or realize that. There was no insurrection January 6th. It was all a planned thing. They all knew that Trump was holding a peaceful rally. They all knew that Trump was going to have people come down to the Capitol or whatever and voice their opinion, stand outside and all. So what they do? They hire some fucking motherfuckers in their crowd. Wear this MAGA hat. Wear this MAGA shirt. Have the American flag. Come storm the fucking Capitol. Come inside. Do this, do that. We will keep you out of jail. Maybe a few of them are still in prison right now, but a lot of them, majority of them, they didn't go to jail. Some of them were even fucking military. Proof is out there, people. The fucking proof is out there. It's even on TikTok. But I mentioned TikTok already. I'm not going to talk about that motherfucking shit, but that's why they want to ban TikTok from the United States. Because people have been spreading the truth on there. Spreading fact. Person to person. Government doesn't like that. That's why they want to control it. They want to ban it. That's exactly why. But let's get back to the whole Ron DeSantis thing. So, Ron DeSantis, guys, today, March 25th, signed one of the country's most restrictive social media bans for minors. Now, kiddies, I hope y'all don't live in Florida, because this is really going to hurt you guys. Florida will have one of the country's most restrictive social media bans for minors if it withstands expected legal challenges under a bill signed by Republican Florida Governor Ron DeSantis on Monday. Now, grant you, okay, even though I vote Republican, I'm considered conservative, but there are some Republicans out there that are real pieces of shit. I do agree with that. Just like, not all Democrats are terrible. Not all Democrats are terrible. Was it Robert Kennedy? The guy who was running for Democrat, against Biden? He hates Biden. He's a Democrat. Good for him. Sadly, he's not in the race anymore, I don't think. But hopefully, if Biden were to fucking get sick and die, hopefully, within the next 5-6 months, maybe Robert Kennedy will come up there and Trump will be like, you know what? You take the vote. I want to work under you as a fucking vice president or something. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. You know what? But yeah, this bill will ban social media accounts for children under the ages of 14 and require parental permission for 15 and 16-year-olds. It was slightly watered down from a proposal DeSantis vetoed earlier this month, a week before the annual legislative session had ended. The new law was Republican Speaker Paul Renner's top legislative priority. This law will take effect January 1st, 2025. A child in the brain development doesn't have the ability to know that they're being sucked into these addictive technologies and to see the harm and step away from it. And because of what we have to step in for them, Renner said at the bill's signing ceremony held at Jacksonville School. Now, let me tell you something. Anything of this matter that happens, social media, video games, whatever, the government should never, I don't give a fuck if you're a governor, a mayor, a president, whoever the fuck you are. No government should ever have the right to interfere with what our children do in their lifestyles. If anything, it's up to the parents. So why is the state of Florida, now I would say, no offense to DeSantis, but at this point, fuck him. Why should it be okay for a politician to step in and tell us what they think children should and shouldn't be allowed to do? Why? Why is it a thing that, somebody should step in and say, well, your kids spend too much time on Twitter and Facebook, but here's a bill that will ban them from that. Tell your kids to go outside. Yeah, well, that's up to the parents to decide that. That's not up to Ronnie DeSantis or Joey Biden or even Donald Trump. It's not up to a politician to decide that. That's like telling the fucking schools, oh, you have free reign to do and whatever you want to my child. If my child's being bad, spank them with the paddle. Well, they used to do that back in the fucking day, unfortunately. But in this case, you're telling us that you're allowing this politician to sign a fucking bogus bill stating that your child under the age of 14 is not allowed to have a Facebook account, YouTube account, Twitter account, whatever. How many kids today watch YouTube? How many kids today watch YouTube? Almost every goddamn kid today knows what's on YouTube. Whether it's the child-friendly version or the adulterated version where you can find some videos that actually have titties and the word fuck in it. Yeah. How many kids today learn the slang from the streets? You hear it from your friends in schools. You hear it from your friends out in the streets. How many of your friends you hang around when you're 8 or 9 years old and your friends are going fuckity fuck, shit ass fart, bitch, cock cunt fart, And people will say, oh, he picked up off the internet. He got that off the internet. Yeah, well, Junior's still gonna be using those words. Let me tell you, because They're in today's society. You cannot stop today's society. Society changes all the time. Just like right now, they're teaching our fucking kids how to be the opposite sex. That's sickening right there. They're teaching our kids that it's okay to cut your wee-wee off and be a girl. They're teaching kids today that it's okay to cut your titties off to be a boy. That's sick shit right there. And you want to say that social media is too much for them? You learn too much bad shit on social media, Facebook and all, but it's okay, little Johnny. You can cut your pee-pee off and you can be a little Julia and grow your hair out or wear a wig. Yeah, that's what they teach in the schools. So why are fucking places like this allowed anywhere near our fucking children to say anything remotely like that? Change our fucking society. I understand a lot of it is a fad, and some kids will find, you know, like on TikTok or YouTube or whatever, and they want to follow the trend. Everybody had a fucking trend growing up. Back in my middle school and elementary school days and all, shit, the fucking clothes that we wore, we had the fucking Jenkins or Jenkos or whatever the fuck they are, the big bell-bottom jeans, you know, with the big ball on the end or whatever, you know, we had, you know, we started ripping holes in our jeans and going like that and shit. Some even had the hairstyles and all. I just remember fads like pogs and yo-yos and random fucking shit, you know? Everybody has a fad. Everybody has a trend, you know. In this day and age, their trend is, I want to be a girl. I want to be a boy. Yeah, until somebody takes it to the extreme and says, why don't you go do this? Why don't you go do that? It's perfectly safe. Fuck what your parents say. Yeah, and then you get a sex change, and then what happens? You're a disgusting human being. Look at Ellen Page. And I know everybody calls her Elliot Page. It's a he. And he's showing off his abs and all. God, Elliot, he doesn't look too fond of it anymore, I tell you. Uh-oh. Holy shit, that one felt warm. Woo! I'm surprised half of it got caught on the air. But look at Ellen Page, and I still call her Ellen Page. I don't use that Elliot shit, but I look at a picture of it, right? Ellen Page, ever since she had that sex change, God, she is so fucking disgusting looking. She's disgusting. This was a once beautiful young woman. She was a beautiful young woman. I shit you not, watch all the movies that had her in it growing up, you know? She was a beautiful young woman. And then she decided to change her sex, get her tits chopped off, grow abs or work out abs and all, chop her hair. She's ugly as fuck now, man. My name is Elliot. Your name is Mud. You're fucking disgusting. How can any child want to do something like that to themselves? Mutilate their bodies? How can anybody want to mutilate their bodies? And then later on, they're like, oh, I regret it. I regret doing it. Then you should have never fucking done it to begin with, motherfucker. You should have never done it to begin with. Why do you think so many gay guys out there, they don't chop their dicks off, they dress in drag? If that's how they feel, dress in drag. Don't cut your shit off. God damn. But that kind of shit is okay, right? That kind of shit is okay for today's children. But not social media. Oh no. The bill DeSantis vetoed would have banned minors under 16 from popular social media platforms regardless of a parental consent. But before the veto, he worked out compromise language with Renner to alleviate the governor's concern, and the legislature sent DeSantis a second bill. Several states have considered similar legislation. In Arkansas, a federal judge blocked enforcement of a law in August that required a parental consent for minors to create new social media accounts. Supporters in Florida hope the bill will withstand legal challenges because it would ban social media formats based on addictive features such as notification alerts and autoplay videos rather than on their content, or rather on content. So they're talking about, notifications alert. We don't want notification alerts on our kids' phones or whatever. Like, what the fuck? What the hell is wrong with fucking people? I don't want to see Bill Nye the Science Guy pop up in your notification saying, "Oh, hey, this and this and this and that," you know? Like, what the hell is wrong with fucking people, man? I'm gonna go ahead real quick and put this inside the Tuned In Live scraps for you guys. That way you guys can check that out later on if you want to reread it. So anyway, supporters of the bill hope that, I just read that. Renner said that he expects social media companies to sue the second after this is signed. But you know what? We're going to beat them. We're going to beat them, and we're never, ever going to stop. DeSantis also acknowledged that the law will be challenged on First Amendment issues and bemoaned the fact the Stop Woke Act he signed into law 2 years ago was recently struck down by an appeals court with a majority of Republican-appointed judges. Jesus Christ. They ruled it violated free speech rights by banning private businesses from including discussions about racial inequality and employment training. Anytime I see a bill, if I don't think it's constitutional, I veto it, said DeSantis, a lawyer, expressing confidence in the social media ban will be upheld. We not only satisfied me, but we also satisfied, I think, a fair application of the law and Constitution. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. It's a good thing DeSantis dropped from the election, because imagine how many things that motherfucker would have banned in this country regardless. This is somebody who hates social media, apparently. I don't want kids to be on it. Oh, no. But then soon he'll ban it from the state of Florida. Nobody in Florida will be allowed on Facebook. Nobody in Florida will be allowed to watch a YouTube video. Nobody in Florida will be allowed to do anything. The bill overwhelmingly passed both chambers, with some Democrats joining a majority of the Republicans who supported the measure, of course. Opponents argued it was unconstitutional and government shouldn't interfere with the decisions parents make for the children. Thank you. At least somebody fucking gets it. The bill goes too far in taking parents' rights away. The Democratic Republican Anna whatever said in the news. A Democrat came out. See, I told you there were some good Democrats out there. A Democrat came out and said the bill goes too far in taking away parents' rights. And she is fucking correct. She's right. That's what DeSantis is doing. He's taking away the parents' rights to parent their children on what they're doing, to monitor children on what they're doing. There is something severely wrong with this bill, and I can't believe it fucking passed. Instead of banning social media access, it would have been better to ensure improved parental oversight tools, improve access to data to stop bad actors alongside major investments in Florida's mental health systems and programs. How the fuck is it? Republicans, they're all for free speech. We need to protect the amendment rights. But yet you got a Republican Florida governor who is silencing or trying to silence minors on social media. You want to sit there and say, oh, it's addiction. What next? They're going to ban kids from playing video games? Kids can't go and sneak and watch R-rated movies and shit? That's all up to the parents. If the parents say, go watch Stephen King's It Jr., Go watch RoboCop. You know what? I was 5, 6, 7 years old when I started watching R-rated movies, you know? I was watching shit like fucking RoboCop and Terminator. I was watching horror movies like Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street and Hellraiser. I turned out right. I'm not out there beating people up and raping bitches and mugging cops and shit. I'm not doing any of that. I played violent video games since I was a young teenager. Am I doing any of that shit? Fuck no. Yes, today a lot of kids, they have something mentally wrong and they got to be diagnosed with every little fucking thing out there that they try to. But you know what? It all boils down to the parents. I bet all these young teenagers that have shut up these schools and shit. Look at Sandy Hook. Shut up a school. Multiple young children in elementary school and some teachers and all, right? What do the Democrats and all want to do? Blame guns. They want to take your guns away. How about the fact that the parents didn't know what the fuck was going on with this kid? Or if they knew, they should have gotten more involved. So stuff like that, I blame the kid, I blame the parents, I blame society. But they always want a scapegoat to pass their agenda. Just like right now. Why does DeSantis hate social media so much? It's because you can't spread his certain facts on there. You know, people have been hating DeSantis for the last, 3, 4 fucking years as governor. He's done a couple good things down there. I will admit that. He has done a couple good things down there. And he's tried to run for president, but now his latest move was, keeping 14-year-olds off fucking TikTok. But you know what? The same exact thing with the bill with Texas is going to happen with Florida. You're going to have an age verification tool. And you know what? Kids are going to put fake birth dates on there. Junior, who's only 7 years old. I was born January 27th, 1990, sir. Boom. You're on Facebook. So unless you have some kind of special, unique tool that's keeping Junior from logging onto Facebook and using it, there are going to be ways around this shit. So what are you going to do? Are you going to personally or have a team personally go around and checking every goddamn Facebook account in Florida to look for those pictures of kids in them and then ban them? Is that what you're going to do? That would be violation of First Amendment rights, and that would lead to mass lawsuits, which the state of Florida will lose because it's violation of the First Amendment rights. Even though that one dirtball I read in there, what the fuck was his name? Paul Rand, or I don't even fucking remember what his name was. He wants to sit there, we're expecting mass lawsuits and we're going to win. No, the fuck you ain't. You're just a dirt shit Republican who's talking at your ass and expecting something. And you're going to be smug about it. And you're like, we're going to win this. We're definitely going to win this. Yeah, nothing's going to happen. Yeah, you're going to fucking lose. Y'all going to fucking lose. And that's an example of a fucking Republican that gives Republicans a bad fucking name. Fuck those pieces of shit. And now, guys, before we get on to the coup de grace, let's take another break. And when we come back, we will talk about the controversy behind Nickelodeon, possibly the Disney networks. So hang tight. We will return.
Travel along this road after a rain, and you'll not only see the green, you'll smell it. Legend says take it in just once, and that fresh, clean feeling will last the rest of your journey. There's a bit of this in every bar of Irish Spring. Ah, the lasting, fresh scent of Irish Spring deodorant soap. The Irish never quit.
She saw a murder they say never happened.
No!
Now she's pursued by a killer they say doesn't exist. Faye Dunaway, Silhouette. Coming up next. Meet Peter Sinclair.
I was a cop too long not to suspect everybody.
He turned in his badge, but he's still after justice.
This time, we do it my way.
Now he works for Alexander Addington.
Hold it!
Counter-Strike on USA. Tonight at 9, 8 Central.
Oh, the doctor.
Killer game from Nintendo. Dr. Mario. Wow. But it ain't what you think. You get to zap these viruses, and with 2 players, you can actually trash the other guy. Remember, kids, try this at home. Hey, you can get it for Game Boy, too.
Finally, you can get a soothing drop of syrup in a cough drop. Introducing new Halls Plus. It's got penetrating vapors. Plus, it soothes your sore throat while it relieves your cough. New Halls Plus. We put the drop in cough drops.
Soggy first date, huh?
He's really funny, Linda.
Oh, you smell great.
Emerald, I got a raise.
You pay.
This is going too well.
We've been dating 6 months.
7.
Let's stay in tonight.
Linda, I think he's the one.
You can say it to your husband.
It was like I was in the middle of a bizarre nightmare.
You can say it to your wife.
Trish is nothing but trash.
Divorce Court. You can say it again.
Divorce court.
On USA. Weekdays at 11, 10 Central.
And we're back, guys. Well, it's an hour and 32 minutes in. Boy, that shit got heated, didn't it? Woo! I had to give me a fresh bottle of water to soothe my throat. Oh, yeah. I even got one of those little juice packets in there. You know, the best way of enjoying water, a bottle of water, especially during the summertime, if water's too bland for you, get those juice packets. You know, like Starburst, Hawaiian Punch, whatever. Juice packets that you can... It's little powder packets, flavor powder packets. You can put them in a bottle of water, shake it up, give you that fruit flavor. I think this is like Mango Tango. It's orange. It's still good. It's a cheap alternative, though. So if you don't want to spend out money for like fucking Capri Suns and Sunny D's and shit like that. Actually, you know what? Is Sunny D even still a thing? I don't even remember seeing Sunny D in stores anymore. I just want to see something. Sunny D. Is Sunny D even still a thing? Okay, yeah, there is Sunny D. Sunny Delight. Okay, they still have Sunny D. God damn, a fucking gallon of it at Walmart. A fucking gallon jug of Sunny D is $3.30. God damn. A gallon of Sunny Delight orange juice is just about as cheap or cheaper than a fucking gallon of milk. That is fucking sad, man. But then again, orange juice is good for you, though. I mean, orange juice, it does have some perks for you. It is really good. But oh my god. But yeah, this last hour and a half, guys, it was just so... It was up there. It was really up there. I will say. It was definitely up there for me. Uh-oh. I think my browser is freezing up on me. Yep, I think the browser's freezing up on me. I might have to close that out. Let's see. Uh-oh. Yep, let me close that browser. I think I'm using up too much memory here. Hopefully the stream don't fucking close out. Oh my god. I think my computer's like, oh my god, stop. It's too much. Stop. But don't worry. We'll end something here. Let's see. Let's close this out. Because I used the browser to do a lot of my shit with. There we go. Now everything should be starting to slow down a little bit here. Okay. Yeah, because I had just pulled an article up for what I want to talk about, and everything started freezing up. And I'm like, you know what? That's a lot of processor power right there, processor issues right there. And that's all coming from Microsoft Edge. Okay, so let's see. If I could spell controversy behind Nickelodeon 2024. If I can fucking spell. God damn. Yeah, that's the sad thing about streaming. Like the other day I was streaming URC with Dana and I had a laptop in front of me and shit, you know. Internet can be retarded sometimes. Yes, it can. It can be. Well, in my case, it's the PC. You know, it's like my CPU was up to like 100% because I had a whole bunch of shit open up and all. It happens. But then I'm like, I gotta be careful with what I open up to sometimes. But yeah, I can finally see after I refresh the browser, I can see your comments are popping up. So, let's see here. What is this? So, something recently came out. And it has something to do with a Nickelodeon show. Now, I stopped watching Nickelodeon back in the late 90s, sadly. I stopped watching Nickelodeon. I don't know if it was because of my maturity level or whatever. Like, I still watch certain cartoons to this day. I'll still watch the original Rugrats, Doug, Rocko's Modern Life, all that. Kablam. Are You Afraid of the Dark? That's my shit. Legends of the Hidden Temple. You can still find a lot of those classic shows on Pluto TV under the Nickelodeon section, right? Nickelodeon didn't start going downhill for me when they started the introduction of SpongeBob. Now, I know a lot of people love SpongeBob. I'm not here to shit on SpongeBob. I've watched a couple shows of SpongeBob myself. It's not for me. I'm sorry. It's just not for me. I'm not going to shit on SpongeBob. I'm not going to say SpongeBob's a retard, even though he acts like it. He's got a retarded starfish friend, but it's just not my cup of tea. I'm sorry. I'm not into SpongeBob. That's just not my thing. But on the other hand, we got, you know, all of these other shows that pop up randomly. And a lot of them can be dumb. You know, a lot of these shows, they try to be comedic for the teenage vibe. You know, these new teenage shows. They're like, get a chuckle out of this. Uh-huh. I was in middle school when I was watching shows like the Red Green Show from Canada. That shit's hilarious. Goddamn. So if I want to watch a good fucking show, I'll find it somewhere else. I was watching Beavis and Butthead. You know, back in the day when they were big on fucking MTV, my mom, I was so young, my mom did not want me watching Beavis and Butthead because of it's just because the content within the show, you know, it was so mature, and I guess she was just so raunchy or dirty or whatever, you know. But, you know, my dad watched Beavis and Butthead, and I watched it with him at times, you know, just made sure my mom didn't catch me doing it, you know. You watch Nick Jr. shows like Dora and Blue's Clues back in the day. Never cared for SpongeBob. Yeah, a lot of kids back then. There was times where I watched Blue's Clues myself, man. I never got into Dora, but I did watch Blue's Clues from time to time. You know, that was a morning show. You know, Gullah Gullah's Island and all that shit. You know, different shows in the morning and shit. You know, Nickelodeon used to be really good. You know, they had a really good lineup of shows, and then the lineup changed as time went on, and I stopped watching Nickelodeon. I just stopped, you know. To me, I felt all these new, fresh shows that they introduced to a new, modern audience while I was growing up. It wasn't for me. You know, I think a lot of those shows were retarded to begin with. The live action ones like iCarly and shit like that. I don't get into stuff like that. And then there was like Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network, they had their day back in the 90s and into the early 2000s, you know? Like, the introduction of cartoons like Dexter's Laboratory and Johnny Bravo and Gallon Chicken, I watched those. They were pretty fucking hilarious. You know, they were they had a little bit of maturity to them, but they were kid shows. But you knew they were kid shows, but you knew they had adult themes to them at times. But even today, like as an adult, I can fucking get a good giggle out of them, you know, because of the subtle messages in those cartoons and shit. It was so hilarious. But even Cartoon Network has a slew of shows that I just don't care for, you know. But I'd rather watch the old stuff. Same thing with Disney Channel. Disney Channel was really good back in the day. You know, they had a lot of good shows on the Disney Channel back in the 90s, you know, even overnight, even at nighttime, you know, sometimes I would try to stay awake on a school night to watch certain things, you know, at night. They had certain little, you know, they would play, they were kind of like Disney music videos with these old songs played over them and shit. You had the black and white classics like Zorro. They played Zorro on Disney Channel and shit like that. They even had old classic Disney movies playing on there on the overnight, you know? Like, I remember back in the 6th grade, we were reading up on Old Yeller, and they wanted to play the movie for us, you know, after we read the book, and they were like, get some tissues, it's going to be a sad one. So, it was like before we watched the movie in class, I saw the movie at home, and they were talking about, okay, it's really sad because he shoots a dog, okay? I didn't cry during it. Shit, fuck it. I'm good for watching it. I started watching Beavis and Butthead last year when they aired in 2022 reboot on Comedy Central after the new sound. Yeah, if you go back and watch the original Beavis and Butthead shows from the 90s, I think the originals are a hell of a lot more hilarious. But don't get me wrong, I love the new episodes. I love the new series. They are pretty comical, especially when Beavis and Butthead are like in their elder years. They're much older and still living with each other and beating the shit out of each other too. But yeah, that's just Beavis and Butthead all around. It's very fucking comical, you know. They mock everything. Even in the movies, they mock everything. It's brilliant talent. It's a brilliant cartoon. You know, from the mind of Mike Judge, the guy who does King of the Hill. So it's definitely a really good cartoon out there. But now we got, okay, Nickelodeon. This came out within the past 2 weeks. And I was sitting here wondering, what the hell is going on with Nickelodeon that is so controversial? So this article here, I'm going to put this in the Discord. If I can find Discord, there we go. I'm going to put it under the Tuned in Live scraps. If you guys are listening, if you guys are on Discord, you can feel free to join. Hell, Hoyt, I don't even know if you're in Discord. If you want to, shit, create an account and join us on Discord, man. You can follow up with a lot of good stuff on there. Shit. But yeah, so this is coming from Slate.com. Every allegation in the explosive new docuseries about the dark side of children's TV. And there's always a dark side to everything. There's always been a dark side to kids' television for fucking many years. Look at the Disney shit. Okay, look at all the Disney movies. All the subliminal messages and hidden little things and pictures and stuff like, okay, Little Mermaid, for example. The original Little Mermaid VHS front cover, it had a very subtle picture like a fucking dick on the throne, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, little subtleties, little things that, you know, kids wouldn't really pick up, or you think kids wouldn't pick up, but we did. You know, we picked up on it. Did we say anything about it? No, we just thought it was fucking hilarious, you know? I'm not going to sit there and say, Mommy, that offends me. I don't like that. I didn't say shit like that. Fuck. I was looking through my dad's fucking Playboy fucking stash at the time. What do I give a fuck about if a movie flashed some titties and shit, you know? Kids, we had it growing up. Now, kids today, they want to protect people from tits and ass. You tried Discord in 2019 when I followed Aggie, honestly didn't care. Okay, it's all good. Yeah, I figure like with Discord, you know, I open it up to, you know, a lot of people. Like, you don't have to talk in there, but if you want to follow like memes or news articles or whatever, it's set for there and all. I mean, it's different now, you know. It's not like there's no drama or anything going on in there, but I tell people, if you guys want to follow for updates and such, you can always follow us on Discord. If not, always got Twitter. You always follow us on Twitter too, so I know you're over there. So let's see. This hits child actor Drake Bell. Horrific revelations surrounding child actor Drake Bell, producer Dan Schneider, and more. And I see Amanda Bynes in there. And I know there was an Amanda show back in the day on Nickelodeon. And it's like, God, if you've seen Amanda Bynes today, she's fucking smoking hot, you know? She's smoking hot today. Back then, it was like, ugh. Investigation Discovery's Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV, the 4-part docuseries that was streaming on HBO Max about the insidious climate perpetuated by Nickelodeon showrunner Dan Schneider during the network's golden years in the late 1990s and early 2000s have brought to light shocking revelations about the alleged abuse and misconduct behind the scenes of some of the era's biggest children's shows. I knew there was something about the late fucking 90s that has something to do with it. I knew there was something about the late 90s with fucking kids and these TV shows. The allegations presented on Quiet on Set, which have rocked millennials and Zoomers who grew up watching these shows, has spread like wildfire in headlines and on social media in the past week. Not only has the information prompted a response from Schneider himself, but there has also been further controversy with the names of famous actors like James Marsden and additional Nickelodeon stars being confusingly thrown into the mix. Here is a summary of the main allegations from Quiet on the Set and a response to them. Oh, I can't wait to talk about this first one, because this first one, I can laugh at this. Inappropriate jokes. Now, I know there's such a thing as NSFW, not safe for work, you know, and there's a time and place for inappropriate jokes. But, you know, from what I'm skimming here, this is going to be a real fun ride, guys. Listen to this, inappropriate jokes. Snyder's habit of putting child actors in subtextually sexual sketches was established on his first main Nickelodeon series, All That. Oh my God, really? I never even watched All That. I know it's like a child's version of Saturday Night Live, and Saturday Night Live, they sort of tried to push the boundaries, but they knew what their limits were for television. But yeah, All That was a sketch comedy show, which was like SNL, but for kids, you know? That's all that was. So, of which he became the head writer for the showrunner. For example, child actor Leon Frierson was placed in a skin-tight superhero costume with phallic-looking prosthetic noses on the shoulders. The punchline of the sketch resulted in the nosy superhero shooting snot at someone else in the move, described by a journalist. Let's just call this journalist Cowell as a cum shot joke for kids. Oh shit. This trend continued on The Amanda Show, Schneider's next production, which included having lead actress Amanda Bynes portray a character called Penelope Tate. I love it. According to Amanda Show writers, they were told a lie about the the meaning. Okay, they were told a lie about the meaning of the word taint to Nickelodeon executives. I didn't even really know what the fuck a taint was till later on in my life. People called it a gooch or whatever, but yeah, taint. That little fucking skin between your ball sack and your asshole. Yeah. But they told the writers a lie about it. They said, oh, this is the meaning of the word taint. Taint, you know, I guess until they found out what taint really was. Quiet on Set also cites a sketch in which a fully clothed Schneider sits in a hot tub with a young swimsuit-clad indicative of Snyder's inappropriate humor and the close relationship between Snyder and the young star. So you're basically saying he's a pedophile, basically, a pedophile for Nickelodeon. Gotcha. Brian Hearn, the only black male actor during the tenure on All That's later seasons, also detailed a racially discomforting environment. For instance, he recounts being cast as a Girl Scout cookie dealer in a sketch, which mimicked a drug dealing scenario, and being told that his skin tone was charcoal when getting fitted into costume. Jesus Christ. Some All That cast members have described difficult working conditions, unsafe or exploitative sketches modeled after the adult show Fear Factor, and long work days that purportedly violated child labor laws. Yes, as a kid, back then, you cannot work certain amount of hours because you were in school. So there's a violation right there. So they would force kids to work more hours than they were legally allowed to, and it violated their laws. Their parents were incentivized. I guess they're putting so many big words in here that I don't even know how to fucking pronounce them. So their parents were incentivized to be quiet in order to not ruin their child's careers, alleges Hearn's mother, who believes that Hearn was kicked off All That because of her consistent attempts to protect him by questioning the going-ons on the set. So the parents were pretty much, I don't know, they were probably paid off or whatever, to keep their mouth shut with everything that was going on. At the peak of Snyder's career, after his track record of having created juggernaut shows like Drake and Josh, iCarly, Zoe 101, and Victorious, all garbage shows in my opinion, the producer's power of Nickelodeon purportedly allowed him to push the envelope. As Cal puts it, Snyder's style had a little bit of edge in it. It also really pushed the boundaries of sexualizing young girls. This included jokes about girls being slapped by sausages and wanting to be on the wood, and zoomed in on shots of feet and tongues licking something. This was taken to a much deeper level with Victorious, which had extra content made for the web that, in Cal's words, the network didn't know how to deal with. These online extras included clips of Ariana Grande, an actress on the show, putting tomatoes in her bra, sucking on her own toes, massaging a potato, and pouring water on herself in a sexually suggestive manner. Once again, people, we grew up on shit like this. It may be subtle in today's standards, but it's like, what the fuck did we grow up with? And we were never fucking, berated or anything about it. But shit, you put it subtly in shows like this. Like, look at fucking Rocko's Modern Life, Beavis and Butthead, SpongeBob. Look at SpongeBob. All the subtle subtexts of anything in nature, whether it was sexual or whatever. And you won't do anything about SpongeBob. There's an outtake in Toy Story 2 where Stinky Pete is offering a role to two Barbie dolls. No, that's Pixar. But yeah, like I said, well, it's Pixar. It's Disney also. It's Disney. Pixar is the studio behind the CG effect, but Disney distributed it and all. So it's still Disney. But yeah, companies like Disney, Nickelodeon, and all, they put the subliminal text, the context in shows and movies. And parents, they pick them out. They're like, oh, this shouldn't be in that movie. This shouldn't be in that show. Well, goddamn, what the fuck did y'all grow up with? There was hidden messages in fucking Flintstones back in the 1960s. Something about Barney Rubble having 3 heads. Oh my god. Look that one up. And let me know when you get the joke for that one. It's been around for over 50 years of television, people. Sexual subliminal context. It's like, okay, I can understand if people behind the scenes were molesting the young actors and all. I thought it was going to be something like that, but they're talking about subliminal stuff that they're putting in TV shows and shit. And it's like, oh, these kids today in the shows, they feel uncomfortable with them. Well, then maybe their parents should take them out of the fucking show business and tell them to continue their fucking school career to get their fucking education before going back, to theater or fucking TV or movies or whatever, The Amanda Show Writers Room. Christy Stratton, one of two female writers on the staff at The Amanda Show, states that working for Dan was like being in an abusive relationship. Stratton and her fellow writer, Jenny Kilgan, alleged that they, as the female writers on the staff, were forced to split their salary and were threatened by Snyder for reporting the matter to the Writers Guild. That's it? That they were forced to split their salary? That's as much as you can go? Additionally, Kilgan claims that when she returned as the writer for season 2, she was offered a contract that forced her to work for 11 weeks unpaid. Yeah, that's when I'd be like, okay, fuck you, and I would have quit right there and then. I don't work for free myself. Fuck them. I don't give a shit if it gives me some experience on it or if I enjoy doing it. You ain't gonna pay me? Fuck you. The show goes under. You ain't got me. Goodbye. According to Quiet on the Set, Snyder denies Kilgan's claims, stating that he had no control over salaries. Some people do, though. Even if it's people like him. It can be. The writers also claim to have coerced into sexually exploitative and misogynistic work culture of Snyder's creation. According to Stratton and Kilgan, Snyder openly stated that women are not funny, showed pornography on his computer screen, and even asked Kilgan to massage him, behavior he would become known for on all of his sets. He said that women aren't funny. There are some comedic women out there that are pretty hilarious. Now, today's standards with the shows that he was directing or producing or writing for or whatever, yeah, the scripts for those shows, they're not funny. They are not, I'm sorry, they're not funny. There is a certain level of comedy where a woman is considered a comedian or comedic in a way, or real funny. If you're talking about like, oh, women are not funny, well, they're not funny on your TV shows. Shit, those shows ain't, I don't find them anywhere hysterical. They're fucking downright stupid, According to Kilgan, Snyder would present it as a joking quid pro quo. Can you please give me a massage? I'll put one of your skits into the show. Even though the power imbalance made it a request, she was scared to deny. Per Kilgan, you always felt like disagreeing with Dan or standing up for yourself could result in you getting fired. I would have just fucking quit and found a job somewhere else. He said women aren't funny, canceled. Yeah. Perhaps the most disturbing allegation per Kilgan was that Snyder allegedly told Stratton, who was discussing the topic of high school, that it would be funnier if she leaned over the table and acted like she was being sodomized and told a story about high school. Wow. Though Stratton declines discussing it in detail for the documentary, according to Kilgan, Stratton turned Snyder down until he begged to the point where Stratton couldn't get out of it. Kilgan, with the support of Stratton, filed a suit against Snyder and the production company for gender discrimination, creating a hostile work environment, and harassment. The suit was settled out of court, though allegations of Snyder's behaviors continue beyond his time on The Amanda Show. Wow. Let's see, what else we got here? Okay, Amanda Bynes. One of the through lines, I guess that's how they decided to word it, one of the through lines from talking head interviews with actors on Snyder's sets revolves around the showrunner's purportedly tendency to play favorites. Many interviewees cite Bynes and Snyder's intensely close relationship. According to the journalist Kate Taylor, when Bynes' star rose beyond children's media, Beginning with the WB sitcom What I Like About You, it appeared that Snyder thought he should be the one to usher Amanda into adulthood. At one point, when Bynes' relationship with her parents soared, she turned to Snyder, who tried to aid Bynes' failed attempt at legal emancipation, as Taylor puts it. Dan inserting himself into Amanda's life like this is really ethically fraught and resulted in an alleged rift between Snyder and Bynes' parents and a cooling of the relationship between Bynes. So it's one of those kind of things where, I'm getting involved with this somehow. Volatile behavior on set. Snyder's was said to be known for his erratic behavior on set with the Amanda Show actress Raquel Lee Ballou. I guess that's how you pronounce her name. Ballou. Likening him to a tornado. Karen Finley Thompson, a longtime editor of Snyder's many shows, says that Snyder's behavior in the editing bay was dismissive. He allegedly would not talk to her directly, instead making comments to his producer, some of them degrading. Per Thompson, he would also badger her into abstaining from eating or using the restroom while maintaining time pressure for the team to finish their work. Quiet on the Set also touches on iCarly and Sam and Cat actress Jeanette McCurdy's experiences on Snyder's sets, as presented in her Tell-All 2022 memoir, I'm Glad My Mom Died. After an investigation following McCurdy's allegedly negative experiences on the set, Snyder reportedly no longer allowed to interact with the cast of the set of Sam and Cat. So there was different activities going on there. There was sex offenders on the set. Sounds like a shit show. They all are shit shows. I never watched any of them. Sex offenders on the set. This should be interesting. According to the mother of a young girl who acted as an extra on the Amanda Show, the parents weren't allowed on the set as their children were ushered around by production assistant Jason Handy. Handy, who began an email correspondence with the young girl and sent a nude photo of himself masturbating to her mother, was busted in 2003 for his inappropriate behavior toward children. Law enforcement raided his home and, according to Taylor, found an enormous trove of child pornography, including over 10,000 images of children. Additionally, he had Ziploc bags with tokens of his relationships with children he knew, including the underwear of a 7-year-old girl. After testimony that accused Handy of engaging in sexual activity with a minor, he was eventually sentenced on 2 felony accounts and 1 misdemeanor. 4 months after Handy's arrest, Brian Peck, an actor turned dialogue coach who portrayed the character Pickle Boy in All That, was arrested. Peck, who was pen pals with serial killer John Wayne Gacy, was arrested on 11 charges of child sex abuse related to the child actor. In 2009, another worker at Nickelodeon lot, Ezel Chanel, was convicted of abusing a boy in the lot in 2005. He also had prior convictions of a sex offender. Yeah, freaks in the show business. Can you believe that, Hoyt? Like, not only you got a fucking pedophile from back in 2003, you got another one who was he was communicating with John Wayne Gacy. Holy shit. I would have thought Gacy would have died many, many, many years ago. Actually, you know what? That was back in 2003, right? Let me see if John Wayne Gacy is still alive, because I don't follow up on them at all. Let's see. John Wayne Gacy. Oh, he died in 94. So apparently this guy was in... So wait a minute. Let me read that again. So Handy's arrest was in 2003. 4 months after his arrest, Brian Peck was arrested. Oh, he was pen... Okay, so he was pen pals with John Wayne Gacy. Okay. So before Gacy died in '94. Okay, I got it now. I was that confused me for a second because I'm like, wait a minute, Gacy died before all that. But yeah, I went back and reread it. Okay, he was pen pals with John Wayne Gacy back in the day. Jesus Christ, what a fucking set of characters for Nickelodeon, huh? Drake Bell. Oh, I can't wait to read about this one. The most shocking part of Quiet on Set is the revelation that Brian Peck's victim was Drake and Josh star Drake Bell. According to Bell, who provides a rare talking head interview on Quiet on Set, he and Peck became close. Bell's father, who appears in the docuseries, says that the relationship started with Peck always being around Bell and finding ways to make physical contact. When Bell's father voiced his concerns to producers, he was accused of being homophobic against Peck. Bell's father says he tried to prevent Peck from being around his son until Peck successfully drove a wedge between Bell's parents. After Bell's father stepped back as his manager, Peck convinced Bell's mother, who became the main guardian, that it made sense for Bell to stay at Peck's home for easier access to auditions. He had pretty much worked his way into every aspect of my life, Bell said in the documentary. One of those occasions, Bell, 15, woke up to Peck, 41, sexually assaulting him. So there you got it right there. A 41-year-old sexually assaulting a 15-year-old. What in the fuck is all this? Something just fucking, a big-ass advertisement just popped up on my screen, blocking out what I was reading. There we go. Jesus Christ. So how's that for you guys? This guy Peck, Brian Peck, 41 years old, sexually assaulting a 15-year-old Nickelodeon star. That kickstarted a pattern of abuse continuing over a 6-month period that increased in severity. Bell said he realized that he was trapped with no way out. Bell describes the abuse as extensive and pretty brutal, concluding by saying, "Why don't they think of the worst stuff that someone can do to somebody as a sexual assault, and that'll answer your question." Though the actor does not elaborate further, the implication, coupled with known details of Peck's arrest, suggests various traumatizing acts of sexual assault. It wasn't until Peck purportedly tried to convince Bell to get Snyder to cast Peck as Bell's father on Drake and Josh that Bell told his mother what had happened. This resulted in the 2003 arrest and investigation, which involved Bell having to recount every excruciating detail, as well as getting a recorded confession from Peck via a taped phone line. Though Bell says he was not provided with therapy or clinical help following the abuse, he does state that Snyder was actually the one person that remembers being there for him. The stress from the abuse, which took place at the height of Bell's career, impacted him physically and mentally. Bell struggled with on and off alcohol and substance abuse for decades. In 2021, Bell was convicted and sentenced for child endangerment, pleading guilty to charges related to sending inappropriate text messages to a minor. In the docuseries, Bell admits responsibility for the incident, but alleges that the misinformation regarding his charges to the press absolutely destroyed him, causing him to spin out of control. So yeah, stuff like this, when it happens to you at such a young age, it carries on with you throughout life. You know, a lot of these pedophiles today, I guarantee you, were abused. They were abused when they were children. And it's mostly by family. It could be by family, it could be by neighbors, it could be by friends. Any which way. That's why the whole line of pedophiles keeps growing and growing and growing, because you got so many people that have grown up, they were fucking abused mentally and physically to the point where in their mind, it's okay. That it's okay to do that kind of shit, you know? That's why you got so many pedophiles out there that think, oh, it's okay to do this, it's okay to do that, you know? It's a sickening world. And it's almost like you want to feel sorry for them, you want to feel sorry for, you know, it's almost like they're the victims, right? You would almost think that a pedophile is a victim of a circumstance. Now, for me, I would say, no, pedophiles deserve a fate worse than death. You do anything to a fucking child, you deserve to die. No fair trial, no life sentence, no parole, probation, anything like that. No, you deserve death. But then you look back at it and it's like, a lot of these fucking people, you know, that went for, like this guy, Drake Bell. He's doing almost the same kind of shit. But this was the type of lifestyle that he was put into. This was the lifestyle that he was forced into. And his parents were forced out of his life. And it was all for show business. And that's why people will sit there and say, that's show business. Brian Peck's industry supports. How much more of this do we have to go? Just a couple more paragraphs. Okay. Brian Peck's industry support. When recalling testifying against Peck in court, Bell remembers Peck's side of the courtroom being full of notable figures in the industry, some of whom wrote letters of support for Peck. Quiet on set names some well-known letter writers, including actors James Marsden, Taran Killam, Alan Thicke. Alan Thicke, not him. I think he was accused of molestation or something at one point. Ron Melendez, Ryder Strong, and Will Friedle. On top of asking for leniency for Peck, some letter writers also appear to have used victim-blaming language. However, some of the letters have since said that they were fed misinformation when they wrote the letters of support. Though Peck pleaded no contest to 2 charges of child sexual abuse, he was sentenced to 16 months in prison and was ordered to register as a sex offender. He still ended up working again on the Disney series, The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, after his past was brought to light. So this guy who was guilty, who was found guilty, served 16 months in prison, a registered sex offender, went back to work over at Disney for another series working around children. That does not strike any surprise in me at all. You have a pedophile moving from one children's TV network to another one, but then Disney is woke. Disney is full-blown retard woke. They support pedophilia. They support it. They bathe in it. Snyder's response to everything. In 2017, after the growing Me Too movement resurfaced rumors about Snyder, Nickelodeon launched another investigation into the behavior on set. Subsequently, in 2018, Snyder was dropped by Nickelodeon with a reported $7 million payout. As Taylor reports, the investigation didn't find evidence of inappropriate sexual behavior or relationships with children, but it did find evidence of being abusive to others in the workplace. In his statement from Snyder presented in the docuseries, Snyder calls the description of why his relationship with Nickelodeon ended inaccurate, but he admits that today he would absolutely do some things differently, adding, "I learned a lot over the years about how to be a better boss." At the end of the docuseries, a statement from Snyder denies the assumption that he had total control over the production of his shows, stating that everything that happened was carefully scrutinized by dozens of involved adults. Snyder maintains that all stories, dialogues, costumes, and makeup were fully approved by network executives on two coasts. He also remains adamant that parents and caregivers were also always on the set. On Tuesday, Snyder responded to the docuseries that in nearly 20-minute YouTube video modernized by the iCarly actor, who goes by the name of Boogie. In the video, Snyder apologizes for anybody that I have ever put in that situation of being asked for massages, as well as those who witnessed it happening and found it uncomfortable. He also says that being a participant in the inappropriate jokes, especially when I was leading the room, embarrasses him. Snyder expresses regret for the claims surrounding both of his volatile behavior on the set and the more exploitative Fear Factor like sketches on all that. He notes that he would be much more willing to cut segments from his shows that were upsetting, but maintains that adults are looking at the jokes on his shows through their lenses when they were intended for children. So did I put this? No, I didn't. Yeah, I did put it in there. Okay. So yeah, that's the whole scandal behind Nickelodeon. And I am damn sure the same thing goes on behind the scenes over at the Disney Channel. Disney is so full of pedophiles and sexual abusers and all kind of shit. It just amazes me. This is the kind of stuff that goes on. Like, you hear about all these scandals behind the scenes with movies and shit like that. Like, look at Harvey Weinstein. That was the reason behind the whole Me Too movement, you know? Look at Bill Cosby. You know, I don't think Bill Cosby did what he did. He might have for one or two, but, you know, that poor guy, he's like 80-some years old in jail, and, man, I guess they've been tossing his fucking gelatin around in there lately. It's fucking sad. But can you fucking believe that? That one of those motherfuckers working on those shows and shit decides, oh, they fucking decide he's gonna go work for Disney Channel. A sex offender. Wow. What are your thoughts on today's show, guys? The articles today that we've read, guys. Let us know down in the comments section. And I'm gonna hop off here. We have been over 2 hours in. I'd like to thank you guys for joining us today for today's show of Tune In Live. If you guys are watching us on YouTube, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. Hit that follow if you're watching us on Twitch and on Kick as well. And you guys know where to find us on social media, on Twitter or on Discord for updates on further shows and events that are coming up. Once again, guys, thank you for joining us today for Tuned In Live. And until next time, stay tuned in.
What we do here is go back.
Loud.